steering of his brother now.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to SF1 GP2 here for round 21, held at the Brazilian Grand Prix. Penultimate round of the season. Lots to still race for, as you guys will see. If you guys are part of the group, you'll definitely see that the Combined Constructors Championship is still up for grabs. All of the drivers' titles, though, however, have been wrapped up. You'll see that SF1 Senna, the GP2 driver, champion of the season, live here in Q3. We have the AlphaTauri of Postglad first out on track. A little bit of tricky conditions as well. He is trying to battle some of that rain. I'm surprised nobody has moved to the intermediates. But welcome everybody. SF1 Roads here in the comms booth, here to bring you all of the action. One of my favorite tracks on the calendar, the Brazilian Grand Prix. Let's ride on board with Postglad as he brings us for the first hot lap here in Q3. See how he gets on with these tricky conditions with the rain. Definitely feathering that throttle just a bit. Car looks a little unstable. Massey, thank you. What is going on? Let's see how Postglad takes it in through the Senna S's coming up to, I think it's turn 3 or 4. You never know. They always call different things turns. Coming up to a tough right-hander. Easy on the brakes, and then as hard as you can on the throttle, but it's going to be a little tricky. Being in the rain, you can definitely see he feathered that thing the whole way through. Nicely done by the AlphaTauri driver coming up to a sweeping left-hander. Track in Sector 2 is pretty tight. A lot of turns, a lot of slow speed turns. Really want to get the car dialed in, but you also have that fast, long exit in Sector 3, as well as the beginning of Sector 1. The start-finish line sets a purple sector. Sector 1 yellow. We have a Ferrari that's off at the Senna S's. It looks like he's dead and going in the end, though, so he's not crashed out of this situation, but this session. Postglad gonna come up and cross the line. It's gonna be a 1:13.8 off the bat. I believe that, who is that? That is Lucky. He's gonna cross the line. 1:14.5 is his time. We have Rara going at 13.9. We're gonna have a Renault cross the line. Phil goes 1:14.3. I believe that is Devla who's going to cross the line, or is that his teammates? Teammates going to cross the line. Goes P2 with a 13.9. Where's Devla going to finish? Goes P6 right now with a 14.9. Looks like Whiffy is the next one to cross the line. I believe he invalidated his lap. What about that Ferrari? Zolo goes 13.5 for provisional pole right now. Might just start training now. Yes, I'm not sure what happened, Marcus. I didn't see what happened. I know you clipped it, so we'll have to have a look in the stewards afterwards. Jump on board, see if Whippy's trying to push for another lap. It definitely is. He is in hot lap mode. Take a look. I haven't gotten an idea of the weather either. Let me ask my team. See what those guys let me know here. But Croce goes at 33.8, definitely going to improve on that time. I think it was just finding his feet kind of lap here in I bet it's just cross of a intermediate section. Going to be dry and cloudy over at the end. All right. But what does that tell me about the race? SF1 Senna giving me the rundown. Postglad has retired from the session. Whiffy goes P2 with a 13.6, so Postglad, thinking that the session is going to get a little worse, retires from P3. Rara does the same from P5 with a 13.9. That's it so far for the retirements. Maybe we're going to have a short Q3 with a little bit of with not so much action going on here. a look. Everybody is in Becker. Becker gets himself into Q3 this evening. Good to see from the Williams driver. Sitting P9 right now with that 15 flat. Can he get improvement on that time? He's definitely pushing this lap around. Back end steps out just a bit. Almost a tank slapper for the... Whoa! I think he just saved that car. Quick hands by Becker. Probably going to turn it down and then go for another shot here. Although I wonder if the track is... yeah, the track is definitely going to get worse. Luke, thank you so much for the follow. Definitely appreciate it. Give you guys a little update. Coming in to the end of the season, next weekend will actually be our last round, held at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And after that, SF1 is on to new pastures. We are going to move full-time to Discord. If you guys, I'm sure everybody knows what Discord is, but if you guys can, jump over there. If you like what you see, if you want to get involved, jump on there, and we'll definitely get you guys set up. Especially for the guys who have signed up for next season, make sure you are on there. It's all of our announcements, our team rosters, our season schedule is going to be loaded on there. We will keep Facebook open for promotional purposes, but until then, Discord is going to be our avenue of communication. Can't wait to start this one. Next season, I'll give you guys a little hint. Next season is going to start with GP3 on February 18th, which is a Thursday. Not going to give you guys the rundown of the calendar, though. SF1 Carlos and myself already have that mapped out. It's going to be an 18 race calendar. But back to the action. I think everybody is pretty much going to try to improve, not improve, if they can improve. I think the track has gotten a little bit worse with the rain coming down. Croce is going to try to give it a go. Nothing left to lose here. Wall decided to DS Croak. Sorry about that, Croak. Walls are not your friend when you're in an F1 car, that is for sure. See if Croce, the Ferrari driver, can improve on his 33.8, or is the track become too tricky on this soft compounds? We're going to find out. A couple guys are actually out. We have a Racing Point out. We have a Renault on his way out. The other Racing Point teammate is out, going through the NSs right now. To give you guys an idea, my wife and baby will be home any minute now, so when they do, I'm going to do the normal. I'm going to let you guys go for just a bit so I can greet them, say hello, and have my daughter sit next to me for the race. But until then, we're going to stay here with Q3. Don Croce now for a lap, and okay, that was the worst timing. Going through the sentences now. Alright. DRS is still open though, so maybe the rain isn't as bad yet as it could be. Usually an indication on this game from Codemasters themselves to say, you know, the crossover. Whoa, Croce loses it! He's into the wall! He is, yeah, so the track is definitely getting worse. At this point, I think I would save the car and just pull it into the garage. Couple guys still going for it though. We have Lucky going for it. We have Bill pushing for another lap, but he is not using any ERS. Whiffy is pushing for a lap. It's interesting. I'm surprised a lot of these guys are really trying to go for it. The track hasn't crossed over just yet. This is where Croce lost it, unfortunately. Whiffy does hold on to the car. Nice through there. We have 2 minutes and 53 seconds remaining. Can anybody in these conditions top a 113.5 set by Zolo? Zolo currently sitting on pole for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Had a nice race last week at the Mexican Grand Prix. It's like he's turned down the ERS as well. I wonder if it's a little too much. I think that's Bill going through. He's low on fuel, so he's going to be pulling in the pits. Lucky pulls in the pits. Devla is sitting in the pits. Becker's in the pits. Croce, he's going to give it another go. Let's jump on board. Hopefully he can hold on to the car this time around. DRS is still open for this driver. Croce gets through the position where, or not the position, but the spot where he lost the car last time. It's going to be tricky through here, not to touch the corner, the curve. Just holding on to the back. Goes deep, though, into that corner. Around the hairpin. He's low on fuel, though, so he's going to... Oh, he's lost the car again! And what we like to call a tank slapper, so now he's going to be mowing some of that grass in Brazil. Probably going to pull into the pits. That might be the session. I don't know if anybody's really going to improve. Whiffy's going to give it a go. Jump on board with the Renault driver, see if he can improve. He is on a hot lap. Yeah, the back end of these cars are really starting to step out on these guys. I think the track is just at that point where it's going to cross over. But Whiffy is pushing it, giving it everything he has in that Renault. Can he improve to try to get pole position? Let's see the Sector 3 time. Coming up to Sector 3 now. See if he's up or down on his time. He is down on his time by 2 seconds, so the track is definitely gone. As you can see, Croce retires from the pit lane. Wonder if Whiffy's going to do the same. Bill and Devla, the only two. Devla is going to give it a go in intermediates. Whiffy's into the pits. Let's jump on board with Devla. And you can tell the car is not happy, even on intermediates. Wonder if that means there's going to be rain on the race. Oh, okay, so the drivers didn't even know it was supposed to rain in qualifying. Apparently, it was supposed to be dry with a little bit of clouds, so wonder if we are going to get a little bit of rain in the race. Devla coming across the line now. And he's going to retire on track, so that's going to be it for our Q3 session. Zolo is going to grab pole by doing an early lap on the softs to grab himself front row on that grid. We'll give you guys the rest of the rundown. Whiffy's going to start P2. We have Postglad in P3. Bill's P4. Rara is going to start 5th on the grid. Phil in 6th. Lucky 7th. We have Devla 8th. Becker is going to start 9th. And Croce is going to start this race in P10. It's going to be an interesting race. I believe these guys have 36 laps they have to contend with. We'll know as soon as we load up. Can't remember off the top of my head. We'll give you guys a rundown of the points too. All right, now that we are loaded, it is definitely sunny, so these guys are going to have a dry race to contend with. I'm going to give you guys a look at the drivers' points so far before we give you a look at the combined, because the drivers are locked up. You guys can see SF1 Senna has won the championship as of the United States Grand Prix, I believe. Or it might be, I can't even remember. That's how bad my memory is. His teammate Carlos sitting P2. We have Livid in 3rd. We have Devla moving past his teammate last week in 4th. Bill drops to 5th. We have Looney Move 6th. Postglad in 7th. We have Croce moving his way up to 8th, as well as Defiance moving up to 9th. We have Becker sitting 10th. We have Whiffy in 11th. Zolo is moving up into 12th. Lucky is sitting P13. We have Kart Legend in 14th. Croak in 15th. Dinner is 15th. Phil 16th. Steel, who is not here this evening, as well as Albon, is 18th. Rara sitting 19th. And we have Albon sitting in 20th. But unfortunately, I know that there's a couple things that came up, so he hasn't been able to race recently. But we give you guys a look at the combined constructors. This is GP3, 2, and 1, all working as a team to combine points. Alfa Romeo retake the lead into the penultimate round. Heading into the season, like I said, it is going to be one tight finish between those. But Haas and Mercedes, so close. It's not that far out of reach. These guys are probably going to race up into Abu Dhabi, so make sure you guys tune in for that one. Still a lot to race for. Ferrari is in 4th, Racing Point 5th, Red Bull 6th, AlphaTauri stays in 7th, Renault holds 8th, Williams in 9th, and McLaren sitting in 10th. As we go through that, I'll give you guys a look back at the Drivers' Championship. I'm going to save my voice a little bit for the race. Stay with us. We'll be back and ready to go racing in just a moment's time. All right, just waiting for these guys to start up. My daughter came home. She's chilling right next to me. It's going to be a good race. Whenever she sits next to me, guys, it's always the best. Let those guys know that we're ready to go. Looks like Bill is ready. Lucky's ready to go. So 20 seconds remain until we get going on the formation lap here at one of my favorite tracks. Easily top 3 tracks of of my favorite right now on the current calendar, even in the game. I would say I have no idea why they want to end the season in Abu Dhabi, but we all kind of have an idea why. Get these points off for you guys, and we'll be on for the formation lap. So, Zolo is going to start this race, P1, followed by Postblad, P2, and Bill, P3. As Whiffy did have it, I forgot to mention that Whiffy had a 5-second grid spot penalty for collision, I think, during the race. Let's see if everybody else is starting right through. All right, so we'll give you guys a rundown. So, Livitz is going to start 11th. We have Lunamu in 12th. Senna 13th. We have Pro in 14th. Fatal Defiance 15th. SF1 Carlos is 16th. Heart Legend is 17th. Give you guys a look at the tires going into this race. A lot of soft compounds followed by a lot of medium compounds. Kind of a split field here. Typically a soft medium run or a medium to soft run. But Zolo starting this race on a medium compound. It is going to be up to him. He's going to have the advantage, especially in the second stint if he can make those mediums last. A lot of the guys behind him starting on a soft compound, so he must have made it through Q2 on a medium compound, and I missed that. I absolutely missed that, so we're going to get this mini map off. I just noticed it. Can't stand it. Give you guys a look at all the action on track. Give myself a nice big chug of water, H2O here. Pro Luke saying, don't crash. Rooting on Lucky 13 this evening. Cheers, Luca, for tuning in this evening. Tech Postblad wasn't going to wait. He's going to pull up now onto his spot on the grid. A lot of the other guys pulling up now. Give you guys a look at all of the cars lining up. A couple guys weaving, getting the temperature into those tires. Brazil, it's one of the best. My fellow commentator in GP3, SF1 Carlos, hates it. I don't know why, but I absolutely love it. So, yes, 36 laps. These guys are now lining up, just waiting on Kart Legends to bring that Mercedes to the grid, and we'll be waiting for those 5 red lights to tick out, and we'll be on for the race. Looks like he's lined up now. I get a better view. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, 3, 4, 5 red lights are lit here at the Brazilian Grand Prix, and we are away. Looks like Postblad gets a good start. A couple guys are ghosting already into the first turn. Wonder why they're ghosting. Keep an eye on some of the other guys going through. We have a bit of contact with Alfa Romeo. Into the wall they go. There's a Mercedes and Ferrari tangled up with that as well. Jump back through. Keep an eye on the lead here going into this turn. Wow. Oh, they both go push wide. Both are really pushing for this lead, and Postblad's into the grass. Not sure what that was about. Was going to give a shot for the Racing Point to go up on the inside of the AlphaTauri. Does he do it? No! Whew, that was close between the two drivers. Let's keep an eye. We have a Haas driver making a move on the Renault driver into the hairpin. Oh, a bit of contact between the tires. Keep an eye on some of this action going on. There's blue flags already for some odd reason. Not sure what that would be for. Keep an eye on the rest of these guys running down through. Everybody now starting file into a single line. A couple guys strangled in the back here. Ferrari are leading the way with AlphaTauri at second. We have Racing Point third. We have Williamson fourth. That's got to be Power, I believe. So Zolo sets the first lap. We're going to get the Delta back up for you guys. And the Delta's always screwy for some reason at the beginning. And they're telling me DRS is available, which we do not know. Or we know it's only lap 2. But a lot of these guys super close so far. Only on lap 2 here. One of my favorite races. We have a move going for Mercedes. Is that Legend looking at the inside of Fatal Defiance? Is he going to have a run on? He's going to go for the outside. He's trying to switch back to the inside. A lot of guys jostling for position here on lap 2 as well. We have a move here. Devla and Becker going after it. Devla does get around the Williams driver. Defiance is going to sneak up behind these guys. So all these guys battling, it's going to let the guys behind them catch them just a little bit more. Oh, Fatal Defiance almost clipped the back end of the Williams. We have Cart. Cart loses a little bit of traction. Is that going to lose him a bit of position? He is. He's going to fall. He's going to fall to 14th. Behind SF1 Senna, we have Carlos there at 11th. Take a look, see if any of these guys have damage. They don't, so Postblad sets the fastest lap here on the second lap of the race, heading into the third. DRS is now available for these guys. Zola holding on to the lead. I believe those soft compounds are starting to play in favor here. Postblad thinking about a move on the inside, or outside of Zolo. Heading into, come on, give me a better camera angle than that. Sector 1 yellow, who could that be for? Take a look now. Was that? It was definitely for Croak. Something happened to Croak. He's missing an end plate on the left side of that wing. So Postglide takes over the lead of this race. Solo holding on to second. Sitting in a different tire strategy though. Ion, so Rara up to P4. Delta is come back and it's fixed itself, thank goodness. Devla, a lot of these guys are close. We're going to keep a look at Defiance though. Now going after the back end of the Williams. Senna gets the first 3-second time penalty of this race. Pushing the limits a little bit too hard. The championship driver is, or I should say, champion driver. Now that's a nice camera angle. The back end of SF1 Carlos, Alfa Romeo has Livid chasing him. Those two actually, P2 and P3 in the points, so big battle between these guys. Is Livid going to think about going for an inside look? He is. He's going to back out of it though. Jump on board with Senna watching this battle ahead of him. Sector 2 yellow. Something has happened to Looney Moo. Actually, look at these guys are all catching Becker. Becker has a train of cars now filing behind him. Becker being on the soft compound. I wonder if the softs are starting to already go off. Tire drag can be massive here, depending on how much wear is coming on, especially if the track is pretty warm. We have a Sector 2 yellow. What's happened to Senna? Senna's around, missing part of his wing. Actually, a lot of it. He's going to have to pit and go for a hard compound. As Croak has gone for another soft. He's pitted and fixed that front wing. So Senna and Croak might have a go here. Let's see what Senna does. Is he going to pull into the pits? Yes, he is. So that is going to be SF1 Senna into the pits. Keep an eye now on the battle for the lead as Bill's coming into contention with this. Cheers for everybody tuning in. Really appreciate it. How are you guys all doing? Hopefully you guys are geared up and excited for the weekend like I am. Good way to start it here with GP2. These guys always have one heck of a race. Quality of racing through the season has just gotten better and better. These guys learning each other, driving, racing against each other, except for Russia. I will never forget that, the beginning of that race. But look, Rob-Ro's having a look here too with these guys. And Whiffy's not far off as well. We could have a 5-card battle for the lead of this race. That is one thing I enjoy about Brazil. It definitely allows a lot of guys to battle, especially if you get stuck in that toe. As you can see, Postbad can't get rid of Zolo. Even being on a soft compound compared to Zolo's mediums, he's still right there behind him. Let's take a look at the rear end. All the guys coming down the Senna S's. At least 7 cars behind him that can battle for this lead. Not a hard track on time penalties either. As Livid, as soon as I say that, unfortunately, Livid gets a 3-second time penalty. Zolo holding on to the back of the AlphaTauri. Zolo, quite the form in the last 2 races. Can he improve on this race and bring home a P1? Get that big trophy at the end. A lot of guys battling for it behind each other. Jump on board with Rabra. keep an eye on some of the other Delta. Fatal is still just behind Becker. Croak gets the fastest lap of the race here on lap 6 with a 10.2. As you see, Bill locks up heavily into the final corner before the start-finish line. They wouldn't even say this is straight. This is an uphill battle. And Robert have a move here on the racing point. He's going to think about it. Now he's going to hold on to his position. Patience is a virtue, especially in a long race like Brazil. We have a move for Kart Legend and Livid down the start-finish line. Kart Legend moves up to P12. Senna pitted, he put on the hard compound, so he's possibly going to try to take those to the end. Al is... Here comes Fatal Defiance. He's going to have a look on Becker. Nothing doing just yet. He's going to have to stay behind him for the moment. He is on the medium, so he'll be able to take him longer than Becker. Becker's softs probably start going off as Whiffy gets a 3-second time penalty. A lot of these guys starting to push quite a bit. We have a look at the queue that's fighting for the lead here. Nobody just close enough yet to utilize the DRS to get around the guy ahead of him. A lot of guys running a bit wide. Nunu sets a fast lap of 10 flat. Zolo a little slow out of that corner. That's going to be Bill looking for a move on the inside. Bill's now up to P2. Can he go chase after the AlphaTauri driver? Zolo's going to try to hold on within the toe as Bill locked up heavily into the first corner. As somebody else did too. I think it was Lucky who did the same thing. It is nice to see a lot of these guys, a lot of our drivers over the season have moved to no ABS. I know they made it a little easier on this game, but it just has a better look to it on stream. Lucky gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Zolo still on the back of Bill. Bill gets closer and closer to that AlphaTauri. Both being on soft compounds. Is Bill going to overtake? Bill unfortunately had an incident in Mexico. Was up in a podium position. Could have stood on the podium with his teammate. Fortunately, though, he had an incident and crashed out. Let's see if Bill can get a good run out of the final exit and get closer to that AlphaTauri. Still 6/10 back, so it's not going to be close enough. DRS is his, though. He's going to pull to the inside, though, for a bit of clean air going into turn 1. A little bit of a lockup. I wouldn't say a little bit, I'd say pretty heavy lockup. Zolo's just behind him, though. Zolo thinking about a move. No, that's going to be Rara just behind him. Let's get some other guys some TV time. We know those guys are kind of sandwiched in between a tail right now. Nobody really moving up and down. Becker has some front wing damage to report on the front right of that as Kart Legend just hits the back of Becker and now has a lot more damage to be looked at. I think he's missing an end plate and a couple winglets as well. And no, just the end plate to be reported. So I wonder if he's going to hold on to that car and pit during his actual pit stop. Bauer now looking at the back of the Ferrari. He's going to go to the outside. Zolo's going to hold the inside line. This is Whiffy now coming up for an attack. Slow does it through the center S's. Carlos makes up a position. Phil dives into the pits. Going to be the first pit on the soft compound. Where is he going to move to? I wonder if he's going to do a 2-stop this evening. Phil does go to a medium compound, so it's confirmed that he is definitely locked in for a 2-stop. Look, some of these guys. Anybody else close? So we have Livid and Kart Legend. Red Bull versus Mercedes, big. Last year we have Croce having a look now. Croce's coming up into this battle. The Legend is fighting a bit of that front wing damage. It's going to allow Livid to have a run. Croak makes it past Senna on a set of softs compared to hard compound. Big battle between these two teams. They're both teams in the combine looking for every point they can scrap out of each other. But you can't forget about that Haas team that's sitting P5 right now. They've slowly started creeping up into that contention the last couple of weeks. A lot of good races. They had a double podium for GP3 in Mexico. I think they had a podium last night as well from Solex. Keep an eye on these guys. Front end are starting to space out just a bit. Looks like Livid is getting attacked now by Fatal Defiance. No, that's Becker. So Livid makes it around Becker. Fatal Defiance has kind of left off a little bit. Where's Legend gone? Legend has dove into the pits to replace that front wing. So keeping an eye on the rest of these guys. A lot is going on. Keep an eye on Defiance going after SF1 Carlos. Alfa Romeo versus AlphaTauri. We're actually saying, wow, Marcus P16. Yeah, I think Marcus might have had a couple too many Fosters before this race. No, to be fair, something happened at the beginning of qualifying for SF1 Senna, and then I think he was tangled up in a collision at the beginning of the race, so it's kind of a recovery. Fatal Defiance had to back out. SF1 Carlos a little slow into turn 1. Jump on board with the AlphaTauri driver. Lucky gets another 3-second time penalty. Fatal closing in the gap with DRS. A couple of the guys at the front still within that tail. Zolo holding on to the back of Postglad. 5/10 is the gap. Rauer sitting P3. And Defiance have a good run up the hill here. Get DRS on. Art Legend gets a 3-second time penalty. Let's look at the back of that Alfa Romeo. The AlphaTauri chasing him. Is Fatal going to be close enough? Doesn't look like it's going to be the case. Going into turn 1, SF1 Carlos locks up the front left, I believe that was. Defiance looks like he's a little slow, like he's dirty air. Exiting the Senna S's for the second DRS zone. Sector 1 yellow. What has happened to Livid? Livid is off with damage on his left wing. So he is definitely going to have to box for a new front wing. Senna still trying to chase down Croak. I think Senna's going to try to take those hards to the rest of the race. We have a big toe now. Bill, first to pit off those softs, dives in. Postglad's in as well, so he's now down to 10th. Croce kind of holding this packed up, all fighting for position. Little bit argy-bargy, shoulders are out. Oh, they're not gonna separate each other there. Postglad trying to get past Becker. Now Zolo into the lead of this race. Whiffy's holding on. P2, Lucky in P3. All this traffic is not gonna help. Postglad is gonna go for an inside look at Becker. Don Croce's gonna try to go follow him through. He's battling Becker on track. This isn't gonna help Bill at all either. Let's jump on board. Bill's gonna have a great run here at the end. There is Rauer though coming out of the pits. Oh no, these guys are gonna go 3 into this turn. Thank goodness. As Becker goes a bit deep into that corner. Keep an eye on the rest of the guys. One of these guys is going to decide to pit. We have Lucky with Devla just behind. Devla winning the Mexican Grand Prix last week. And he making another podium, 2 in a row this evening. His teammate was riding up in the podium. Had the pit. Put on the hard compound. Postglad and Rara have done the same too. So all of the same strategy. If he's staying out, Lucky is going to stay out this time around. Zolo kind of off in the distance, 2.2 seconds, 2.3 now, the gap between himself and second place. SF1 Carlos now having a look at Defiance. Defiance does get around him. Nice little scrap between these guys. Croce following Bill, a couple of the other guys, Becker's in the pits. He's probably, is he going to put on the hard compounds? He's going to get a new front wing. Yeah, he's definitely putting on the hard compounds to finish this race. It's going to put Croak and Senna up a position. Livid will not overtake Becker. Lunimu still chasing the back of these guys. Whiffy 3.1 seconds. As you guys can see, the softs are starting to give up a bit. Whiffy was 2.3 at the beginning of the lap. He is down to 3.2. Here comes Devla against Lucky. It's going to be a move for P3. Devla and Lucky side by side going in the entry. A little bit of a lockup. Nicely done by the Racing Point driver. Devla up to P2. Zolo's decided to pit. Zolo's going for the hard compound. Wonder if he is burning through those mediums a little too much. Where's Postglad coming now? Postglad around the first turn. Here comes Zolo. Postglad. There's Zolo now. Postglad. So Zolo's going to rejoin just behind him. Postglad gets a 3-second time penalty. Zolo is going to have a little bit fresher tires than the guys ahead of him. Bravo really pushing the back end of that AlphaTauri, or yeah, the AlphaTauri's Whiffy winner gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Now coming up to the back of the leader. Whiffy still staying out on the soft compound. What if he's trying to push for a soft medium compound? The track looks a little hot. That might be why the deg is a little heavier on these guys. That's why we see a lot of these guys dive for a medium or hard compound, as both Lucky and Whiffy are going to dive into the pits. Devla is going to take the lead of this race. Whiffy gets a 5-second for speeding into the pit lane. How long will Devla stay out on those medium compounds? That puts Fatal Defiance and SF1 Carlos into a podium position. Yet to pit, though, these top three guys. What is the gap between them and the guy that pit first for the lead? Postglad, 5.2 seconds. Rara chasing him down, sitting squeaky clean on penalties. Zolo's right there as well. Bill does start to catch back up to these guys. You can see them right in front of him. Crossover between, I would say, probably around lap 24, you'll see these guys that are trying to stretch the mediums pull in for a soft compound if they can make it. It seems like a couple of these guys having a bit of difficulty with a soft compound. Going off a little sooner than they expected. Zolo actually pitted a little sooner than I expected. Being on a medium compound, I thought he'd take him as long as you'd see Devla and Defiance doing. But maybe the track is wearing these tires a little more than these guys have anticipated. Nobody bites yet. Lunimu gets a 3-second time penalty. Devla stays out. Fatal stays out. Carlos stays out. Postglad has Rara just behind him. Zolo in the wakes in case these guys get a little close to each other. Zolo is actually gaining quite a bit of time on these guys through the Senna S's. Gap now is within a second. He's going to have DRS, so he's going to be within that toe of these guys. Bill is there too. Bill is 1.8, but he can make the gap up. Let's take a look now. Croce catching up to the back of Whiffy. Croce's done 17 laps in those soft compounds. I wonder when this guy is going to pit. Those tires have to be going almost dead here soon. You have Kart Legend back into the pits. Wonder what happened. Coming out on a brand new hard compound. Lunimu is going to have a look here as Legend just exited the pits. Lunimu not too far off. Keep an eye on these guys. Gap's laps are starting to space out just a bit now, so we're going to definitely have a nice little break for my boys. So it looks like Croce is going to box for a new compound. Carlos gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Rara still putting that throttle down, trying to get past the AlphaTauri post glad. Lucky gets another time penalty to his name. Zolo in a battle with these guys. He's started to catch up. Zolo being on a couple of laps newer tire as well. 2 to 3 laps newer than these guys ahead of him, so it is in his hands as long as he can keep it clean and have a good battle with these guys. Taking a look, we have Rara now. Rara a bit of a back end slip there. Can he get a good run though on the start finish line straight? DRS is going to be his. Zolo has DRS as well. Rara getting closer and closer. Not close enough yet for a move. And these guys hold on. These guys in the back are starting to catch him now. So you have to think Devla is 10 seconds up the road though. Devla has just put his foot down between himself and Fatal Defiance. Fatal trying to hold on to the back of P2 with Carlos in the wing, but Carlos now has the guys who've already boxed for their new compound just behind him by 2 seconds, so those mediums are definitely starting to go off as well. So I happen to wonder if Devla's got some super glue on his mediums, because he's still putting a little bit of time between himself and Fatal Defiant. Legend gets himself another time penalty. Croce on a brand new set of mediums and starting to catch the back of SF1 Senna. Most glad still not in with DRS range of SF1 Carlos. I believe that's Fatal Defiance is going to pull into the pits. Got to slow it down. We got a 5-second penalty. Yeah, I saw it coming. A little too fast into the pits. It is unfortunate. We're really trying to push the cars. Zolo's just behind now. Zolo with a great run. He's going to have a look at the outside of the Williams driver going into the turn side by side. Williams backs out. Zolo's up to... Oh, Zolo's got himself a 3-second time penalty. With another time penalty. Art Legend has retired from the race, and Becker has as well. Where has that happened? Oh my gosh. What has happened between those guys? That is definitely a place to look at. We have a safety car. I just noticed safety car here on lap 21 out of 36. If I were SF1 Carlos, I would box for a soft compound, as well as Devla. Devla's going to box as well. Well, that just spices this race up just a bit more. Devla on his way out, soft compound is his. Is Carlos going to make the same call? Postglide dives into the pits as well. Interesting, so does Zolo. Rara does the same, Bill does the same, everybody's going to dive from the pits. SF1 Carlos goes to the soft compound. Lucky stays on his hard compound though. He should be able to take this to the end. However, the pace between those hard compounds and this guy's going to be on a fresh soft. It's going to be massively different. He's really going to have to handle that car. Devla takes the lead of this race. Squeaky clean with a brand new soft compound strategy. And that safety car right at the right time. This could play off huge. Devla can make it 2 in a row, winning at Mexico last week. Alright, so it looks like a lot of guys actually dove for a medium compound to take him to the end. Bill, Rara, Zolo, Postglad. Unfortunately, both Carlos and Devla had to box for a soft compound being on a medium compound. This man leads the race. Croce gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. If you guys see that, I'm sorry, the little girls. I see. Alright. Take a look. So safety car is in this lap. Devla is going to be the one to restart. Is he going to pack these guys up? That's Juan Carlos sitting P2. Phil in P3. I believe I missed it, but Lucky did die for the pits for a brand new set of medium compounds. Take a look now. Very careful to be on the restart. A lot of guys bunching up really close. Careful not to run into the guy ahead of you. You will get a 5-second stop go. We are away as Devil pulls away. Keep an eye on some of these guys battling for position. We have Postglad thinking about making a move on the Renault. Phil holding onto the inside line. Oh, Zola's going to think about making a 3 wide going in. Oh, there's a bit of contact. Phil goes wide. Oh, that's crazy. Zolo now into P3. Zolo. I don't know if that was Zolo, so sends Phil down to P9. No damage for the Renault driver, though, as he's going to have Kuroko just behind him. Senna able to box for a brand new soft compound. These guys are really battling out, though. Zolo just behind SF1 Carlos. Medium compounds versus the soft compounds at the end of this race. 24 laps. Can the guys ahead hold on to the position? Devla 2 seconds up the road already from SF1 Carlos. Carlos has Zolo just behind him. Postglad right there. Whiffy is not too far behind. Livid and Senna going after it. Good battle between these guys. Livid's Red Bull gets a little out of shape. SF1 Senna now up to 11th. Kurok is his next target up the road. Guys do not have DRS as of yet. Gonna have to wait another 2 laps after this. Devla sets a fast lap of the race. 9.8. Carlos now falls 2 seconds behind. Zolo chasing him. Sector 1 yellow. What has happened to Ludimu? Ludimu is around. I wonder if there's contact between him and either Lucky or Croce. That'd be really painful if it was between himself and Lucky. Is Phil and Croak all side by side? What is this? Jump on board with the Alfa Romeo driver going in for the move. Keeping it wide. There's a bit of contact made. Oh, Senna's going to send it on the inside. With a switchback move, Becker's left the session. Lucky gets himself a 3-second time penalty. I think Senna's doing the smart thing, just backing off just a bit. No, he's going to go for a move here. He's going to send it on the inside. He gets around Phil for P10. Now he has his target in sight. Croak just up the road. DRS is now available for these drivers. Take a look now. The guys up ahead. Postglad following just behind. Zolo, SF1 Carlos locks up heavily. Not doing any favor for those soft compounds. Brand new compound trying to make those last until the end of the race. Bill is in the wakes too there. Bill, without a time penalty, could jump the guys ahead of him. Could put a double racing point on the podium this evening. Only Ra and Devla ahead of him will be the ones that do not have a time penalty. Although Fatal Defiance is right there as well. Eye on the rest of these guys. Senna now on the back of EF1 Croak. Is he going to have a run going up the hill with DRS available towards him? Devla sets another fast lap of the race with a 9.7 this time around. S1 Senna is going to go for an inside look. He sets a fast lap of the race into turn 1. Looks like it's going to be a clear move. Croak being on medium compounds, Senna on fresh, soft compounds to take those to the end. Croak's going to have a run though. Lunimu sets a fast lap of the race. 9.4. Croak's going to look for the outside line. Vilches gets a 3-second time penalty. Could play massive as Mercedes and Alfa Romeo side by side into this. Is off of the marbles too. It's the reason why I'm paying attention to this race. These guys battling for that combined constructors. Mercedes winning a Drivers' Championship title this season. Alfa Romeo winning a Drivers' Championship. Ferrari won GP3s. These guys trying to make that double. Going for a driver and constructors. Look at the line of cars following these guys. As Zolo does get around S1 Carlos for P2. Into turn 1. Carlos goes a bit deep. It's going to compromise his exit as Rara is going to have a look. No, that is Postblad having a look on S1 Carlos. Solo's up ahead. Lunimu sets a fast lap of the race. Another one. These guys all battling. It's just helping Devla pretty much escape what's going on behind him. Devla is clear up 4.5 seconds basically. 4.3. I'm really interested to see who finishes where with this battle, depending on who gets another time penalty at the end of this race. 28 out of 36 laps in the books. Still a lot here going to happen, I have a feeling, as we have Whiffy winner getting edged out by Bill for P7 and P6. We have Fatal Defiance looking for a move here as well. All these guys pretty much within 2 to 3 seconds of the leader. Actually, let's take a look here. Position change, interval from leader, 7 seconds. Take a look at the interval. Actually, I want to look at the penalties situation we have so far. 3 seconds to the guys in P2, P3, and P4. 3 for Bill. 9 seconds Whiffy sits on. Senna sits on 3 seconds. Croak squeaky clean. We have 3 seconds on Livid. 12 on Lucky. 6 on Lunimu, 3 to Don and Phil. Positions move. Let's see that. Carlos is up 12 positions this race. Devil is up 7. Fatal Defiance is up 7. We have Sen up 4. We have Croak up 4. Our biggest loser so far, unfortunately, is Phil down 10 positions. Lucky's down 6. Lucky gets another time penalty. Some of these guys. The closest one just behind Bill. It's this DRS train that everybody's kind of blocked in. They can't make a move because they all have different, are pretty much the same positions as Robert thinking about the back of S1 Carlos making a move past the Alfa Romeo. It's not going to happen this time around. It's going to give Bill a run out of the exit here. A lot of guys pushing the track limits. I can tell. I think a couple of guys definitely got a warning out of that. lap 30 out of 36. This race is going by relatively quickly. Have to do a POV during this time. Everybody's so close with each other. Robert chasing the back of the Alfa Romeo. Bill chasing the back of the Williams. Here we go up the start-finish line. More of the curve. Really get the car up to speed. DRS is now available for the Renault driver. Nobody able to make a move yet because they're all stuck in that DRS train. Defiance gets himself a 3-second time penalty. Senna is starting to make gains on these guys ahead of him. You just have to think about that time penalty compared to himself and EF1 Croak just behind him. 3 seconds. He's got to put 3 seconds behind Croak, but he's only up to about 2 seconds. Wonder if those soft compounds are going to help. Keep an eye. Zolo now starting to catch Bill or Devla. The front. Devla did have I think it was an 8-second gap. It's down to 5. You see Zolo pushing on. We are up to 5 laps. Actually, 4 laps now remaining for this race. It has ticked down so quickly. Can Devla hold on another 4 laps? Zolo's right there. Postblad's going to push. Nothing doing right there. Carlos trying to push for a podium. And then you have the train of drivers that are just behind. As Livy gets another 3-second time penalty. Looney Moon makes a move around Don Croce here on the start-finish line straight. Moving him up 1 position past the Ferrari driver. Will Croce have a look back at the Haas? Croce approaching. Not close enough there for a move. Backs out of it. Croak is 1.9 behind Senna. You can see Senna in the distance. Senna not able to get the tire down. Lucky gets another time penalty. Keep an eye on the guys ahead, though. Juan Carlos now out of DRS range from AlphaTauri ahead of him. That's going to make him quite a victim here with Rara coming fast. Rara thinking about it is Carlos going to make the car wide. No, he doesn't. His post-black goes for a move as well on Zolo. Rara and Carlos having a battle. Bill's going to think about having a look here. On the inside, are they going to go side by side into this turn? They are. Carlos is going to allow Bill to have the position. It's going to have Whiffy now. Whiffy's going to look at the back. Take a look at the rear view mirror of Rara going into this turn. What has happened to Defiance? Defiance had a mistake or something. He's gone a bit wide. Whiffy's gone past him. Whiffy's making the gains up in this position, up to P7. Postblad 0.4 ahead. 6 seconds separate himself from Devla, though. Zolo still just behind that AlphaTauri. Whiffy gets another 3-second time penalty. Who is that? That is Whiffy thinking about a move. Fatal just behind him. Fatal's gonna send it. Oh, Fatal sent it a little too deep though. Entry. Oh no, there's contact. Oh, Fatal Defiant went for an inside look. I'm sure the stewards will be brought on for that one, as we have Livid now looking at the back of Broke on that position. A lot of these guys chasing each other. But this battle right here is starting to heat up. Who's going to get P2 on the board this evening? 2 laps remain after this. Both sitting on 3 seconds worth of time penalties. This is going to be a battle between the Ferrari versus AlphaTauri. Devla is doing an amazing job holding on to P1 in those soft compounds up the road almost 6 seconds. As long as he keeps it clean, I think this is his one in for the bag. Making it 2 wins in a row. Starting his penultimate lap now. Penultimate lap of the penultimate race. Postglad's gonna cross the line, start his penultimate lap. If you hear that, my daughter is going crazy. She's enjoying her meal with her mom right now. And Zolo push to get himself past Postglad. Bill sitting right there in the way. Esteban Carlos has a rear view full of Iffy and Senna. Let's jump on board with Senna as we battle. Senna sees his teammate in the wakes here. Carlos, I think those soft compounds are starting to go for the Alfa Romeo driver. Broke starting to edge in closer and closer to Senna. Broke might make up a couple positions here. He's not that far off with a couple of guys ahead of him. This man's going to cross the line to start his final lap of the race. Postglad is going to cross the line and start his final race with Zolo just behind him. Zolo thinking about making a move. Can Zolo get a good run out of this exit to keep it forward? It's everything or nothing here for the final lap. Is he going to push like crazy? Postglad trying to make that AlphaTauri as wide as possible. Zolo's going to think about going for the inside. Postglad blocks it off. Postglad runs a bit wide. Zolo, is he going to have to think about switchback here? I don't think this is going to take just yet. Keeping an eye on the rest of the guys as Carlos has dropped down to P10. I wonder what, I think he's lost a little bit of tire grip. Bill moves up to P5, Rauer sitting P4. You think he's going to get a podium out of this evening. Croce gets a 3-second time penalty. But this man does it yet again this week on track. Is he out of fuel? I don't think he is. Devla's going to cross the line for P1. Here comes AlphaTauri versus Ferrari to finish this round out. Grabs P2 and P3. Rauer's going to cross and go to P2. Postglad P3. Zolo P4. Bill crosses P5. Senna goes P7. Croco's P6. Carlos P8. Livid crosses P9. Whiffy P10. Looney Moo, where is that going to put him at the end of this race? He's going to stay P11. Croce is going to stay P12. Bill coming across the line now. He's going to stay P13. Fatal Defiance, unfortunate for that late incident. It's going to put him P14. And our last man, Lucky, is going to cross the line P15. Who's going to be driver of the day? Croce is going to be the day. Keeping it clean the whole way through, I would have to agree with that one. Alright, let's run down the race results, ladies and gentlemen, and get ourselves moved into the podium interviews. We have Devla in P1, we have Rauer at P2, we have Postglad P3, Zolo's P4, Bill is in P5, Croce finishes P6, Senna P7, Carlos P8, Livo Possum's P9, Whiffy's P10, Looney Moo is P11, Croce P12, Bill P13, Fatal Defiance P14, our final position finisher, Lucky in 15. As well as Part Legend. Alright. If you guys can hear that, I will let you know that my daughter is having one heck of a time, so hopefully you guys So we're going to move on to the podium interview right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Podium interviews, let's get these guys in. Let's see. We got all three here. All right. So that was actually nice and quick, guys. Thank you. I appreciate that. We're going to get these things kicked off right away. What a race you guys had. All pretty much top 5 of you guys battling lap after lap, stuck in a DRS frame. It was pretty much down to Anthony at the end of it. That's what I think. Across the line for another podium this evening into P3. What a race we had. Leading a bit of the way from the beginning of it, and then having a nice battle with Zolo going on towards the end of it. Postglad, give us a rundown of your race.
Oh man, I'm beat. Jesus, what a race. I just want to give a shout out to Devla, man. That safety car put you in dreamland.
It did. I was pitting that lap anyway, so
mate,
yeah, it did.
But start of that race, me and Kizenzolo, we decided that we didn't like track limits, so we thought we'd try and race off towards Rio de Janeiro on turn 4. Both never got a warning or anything, by the way, for that. Then battled with Kizenzolo, Rara, Whiffy, you, Devla, Bilges, Carlos was up there. I'll be honest, Rosie, that race right there, as far as I know, will be a spectacle of this league for years to come, because that's possibly one of the best races I've ever had in my history of league racing. Unbelievable, so clean. Obviously a couple of niggly incidents, nothing I encountered, or I don't think any of the top guys encountered, but I know there was a couple of comings together further down. And ironically, it's my first penalty since Russia, and it cost me second, but mate, I'm loving it, mate. Absolutely amazing race.
Now, congratulations, Postglad. Taking another podium on to the final round. You looking forward to Abu Dhabi?
No.
Yeah, I agree.
I've driven this race 4 times in 3 weeks, and I've made an average of 3 laps per race. So it's not going to be fun. But yeah, I'm loving just racing, mate. I can't wait to get back on track.
All right. So. Here's, but keeping it clean, just like yourself and Devla receiving crossing the line. Had luck, but finally putting that nail in the coffin this evening. Just give us a rundown, because I know it probably feels good.
Oh, you have no idea, and it's so good to hear that sexy American voice again. Just absolutely lovely.
God, sorry.
But like I say, it was ridiculous. Like, just all of us just staying within like the DRS and whatnot, and it was just so that race was just so calculating. Like, all of us must have been on edge, like trying to think about moves and whatnot, but not going for it because we didn't want to hamper each other. It was just arguably one of the best races I've been involved in, and it's good to grab a podium whilst a member of SF1.
Well, Abu Dhabi next week yourself. How are you looking forward to it?
I might collect a few penalties, but I'm actually enjoying myself around there.
All right, man. Congratulations again. We're going to move it on to the man who's made it a double. Devla, you did it again this week. Squeaky clean the whole way through. That safety car, as Postglad said, came out as you made it work. What a heck of a race. Picking up the win again this week. Give us a rundown of your race.
Yeah, so quali didn't go well. I kept hitting the pit wall on the way out, so that's why I was down in 8th. But then I managed to stick with the soft runners the first stint and save a lot of ERS on my tyres, really. I was going to come in for the hards and decided to stick it out because a couple of the soft runners went up to lap 17 or 18, so I thought I'd stick it out to lap 20, 21 and then pit. And I said to the pit guys there I was going to pit that lap, and then the safety car come out, which obviously helped me massively, being on going onto the softs and coming out ahead. And then just obviously on the fresh softs. I was going to pull a little bit of a gap, and luckily I held it for the rest of the race. Didn't have a warning all race either, so that was good. Nice race. It makes a change to have some luck go your way.
Gonna bring that luck into Abu Dhabi 3 in a row.
I've had a league race there this year already and had a good result, so hopefully we'll see how it goes. See how it goes.
Multiple round of the season, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna move on into the final round next week. You guys can catch these guys racing around the Abu Dhabi track on Friday. Make sure you catch it. If it's anything like tonight, it's definitely going to be a good race. But that's going to do it for us here at SF1 this evening. Make sure you tune in on Sunday for the guys in GP1 to have a go here. Until then, I hope everybody enjoys their weekend. Have a safe weekend. We will see you soon. SF1 is signing out. Good night.